I just wanted to jump on live and answer a bunch of questions that I've been getting as far as my new quantum fitness program. I did a quantum fitness program last year, but this is nothing like what we did last year. Last year was really about breaking up energy in the body to kind of get your nervous system in alignment to allow your body to lose weight and to become healthy. This year, boy, do I have some biohacking for you. And it's all come from, life experience. So first, if are just seeing me for the first time, my name is Jessica Alstrom, and I am not your fitness guru. I am a total science nerd, and I have been obsessed with quantum physics and biochemistry and epigenetics and early childhood development and trauma recovery for, I don't know, the last forever. Since I was a little kid, I have been asking questions. Why are we here? Why is this happening? So obviously science is really where my sweet spot is, not exercise and fitness. I am actually the exact opposite. I see a gym and my stomach feels like bleh, because I hurt myself many times in there, and I starved myself many, many times. Maybe looking at me right now today at 46 years old, you think, oh, she's just working out all the time. Not really. I actually work out maybe 2 times a week when I am being consistent, but I will tell you, we're going on about 6 months now of no working out because I've been doing life. I've been enjoying my summer with my kids. 46, have 4 kids. My oldest is 26. And I have been struggling with my weight since I was probably in the 4th grade. As soon as I realized my body looked different than the other girls, I stopped eating. And then I would binge in private so no one would see. And then I would pack on the 20, pounds younger. And then as I got older, it became 40 pounds that I would lose very quickly. It was like, for me, if my life was going well, I could maintain my weight. But if anything happened, a breakup or any sort of scarcity, uncertainty, challenges, money issues, anything, I would just blow up. And it has been that way my entire life. So I have, of course, become a personal trainer because that's what we do when we want to figure it out. I have become a licensed nutritionist because I wanted to figure out exactly what my body needed. I have studied everything from Ayurvedic eating to chakra eating to New Age eating to strict the low carb, the high fat, and I've tried them all. Not to mention that I have probably spent way too much money, probably over $100,000 at this point, just like you, to try to figure out what plan would work for me, what exercise equipment would work for me. And it really got me nowhere but more educated and kind of actually humiliated because, I have been studying science and biohacking and the mind and the body for probably 30 years, and 20 years professionally. So when I was still feeling stuck just a few years ago, it was kind of humiliating because, here I am, this person who's a life coach, I'm helping people with trauma all over the world to access higher potential consciousness. And here I am still kind of yo-yoing between those 20 and 40 pounds. And I really didn't care so much, as we get older, it's not so much of like having the perfect diet or having the perfect body as it is just feeling good in your own skin. When you see people running on the beach and whether they're in perfect shape or not, they just feel comfortable. Like you can just tell that they're just rocking it. Like they're just happy. And I was like, that's what I want. I want to feel good in this body. It's always felt like a stranger to me. It's never really felt like my body. It's been more of something I've carried with me, more like a vehicle that I had to drag around. That I didn't really like the way it looked. It was like the hoopty. And that's really the relationship that I've always had with my body. So this last couple of years, I had the opportunity of diving down deep into some very, very heavy shadow work that really brought my entire world into union. Every missing piece that I was struggling with, I wouldn't say greatness as Einstein, figuring out pi or anything like that, but it was really that moment of understanding quantum physics, quantum biology, epigenetics, early childhood development, trauma, PTSD, consciousness on all different layers, little dab of spirituality, and a whole lot of emotion And it brought it into understanding that this body of ours is designed to be in tune with us, and we are the driver of this vehicle, even though it feels like it's driving us. So at this moment of this very simplistic eureka, I thought, this is too simple. Like, how did I not put these pieces together? And I actually found these pieces by being in a very kind of empathic, narcissistic relationship. Maybe you found yourself there. And if you're asking yourself, what's an empath is just a very sensitive being, or a person who has a lot of love to give, has a lot to offer, has, loves to be of service, loves to help and take care of people, who feels what other people feel, doesn't like to feel when people are not feeling well, to the point of sometimes creating introversion. That's probably you, if you're hearing me. And we are a different kind of breed, because we have a tendency to be attracted to those who can't fill their own cup. That can be very draining, and that can be very confusing. So after one of those relationships, some call it the twin flame, some call it, the narcissistic empath relationship, I really put the missing piece together. And I have had years of studying, body hormones and all of the different kinds of systems that we have in our body and how they work together in a perfect marriage. And what I realized is that my question used to be all the time is, why can't stress burn calories, right? Why can't life challenges like get your muscles ripped? It's like, that is so much more difficult than being in the gym, right? Life and dealing with kids and obstacles and money and time and balancing. And that's when I went back in to my last relationship, and I looked at how different we were. I was a very, very damaged empath. And this person that I was in a relationship with is a very kind of a selfish intuitive, but it was more about like what was happening with them. And the discovery that I found was very interesting, because when I was starting to study the hormone difference between him and I realized that was my missing piece. You're thinking, oh, so selfishness, being a narcissist, is how we're going to lose weight? No, but it's all how we use stress hormones. And normally what we do is, we want to be self-loving. That's usually the journey that we find ourselves on when we get hurt or heartbroken or alone or rejected or abandoned. We begin that self-love journey, and that's definitely where we all want to be right now. But there's a lot of missing information as far as like what self-love is compared to self-abuse. I know I said working out and eating perfect was self-love for many years. And maybe I did love the way I looked when I was starving, but that was very abusive. And I was only kind of pushing my relationship with me and my body further away, to the point where I developed an autoimmune disease, because I had such a large separation between, actually experiencing pain and feeling pain of what I was doing to myself. And through that understanding, I realized that the mind was using my stress hormones to make me more unhealthy. And you think, well, yeah, stress will destroy the body. No, that's not true. Stress accelerates our ability to think and feel. That's what stress does. It doesn't actually have a meaning. So when I started to study the hormonal differences between these two types of energy systems, stress hormones and love hormones, what I realized is that they are the building block, both in creating the perfect body, which none of us will ever have, right? But we can have one that we're proud to be in, at least for the time, and we can at least be comfortable in our own skin. And the stress hormones are the factor that we're going to be using in this program differently. We're going to have 3-star hormones that we're going to really focus on here. And I always break everything down in teaching layers of consciousness to the me, myself, and I, and me kind of being that ego, like mine. It's all about me, and how come no one loves me, and then the myself, or that inner child, the one that wants to go on the adventures and loves everyone and just wants everyone to be happy, right? And then we have the I am, the higher self, the version of ourselves that we really feel like we are inside, if we could like break out of our own skin. And when we put those 3 components together, we realize that we're energy, but we are physical, emotional, and chemical. Now, chiropractors have been using these terms for years and years and years to kind of help you understand the health and vibration of your spine. But the way that I'm going to be teaching it in this particular program is it's very counterintuitive on how you've been taught and raised, and how you're using hormones, but to use your hormones reversed. So what if we used our stress hormones to get in shape? How is it biologically possible when you think that the stress hormone of, say, adrenaline is going to produce more estrogen, it's going to produce more cortisol, which is your what makes you bigger. But what if we used it differently, right? So I thought, what the heck? I've been on every diet known to man. I haven't eaten a carb since the 80s, and I am just tired. I want to enjoy my kids, and I know that there's some simple quantum explanation for understanding that this body is somehow just a belief or the conclusion of the manifestation of who we have thought we were. Most of us are constantly dealing with stress of the past and the future. And the reason why is we don't want to repeat the past, which makes us afraid of the future, or what we didn't have in the past, we're trying to accommodate and have in the future. And, the gurus say now is where all of your magic and miracles are. And well, how do we get in this present moment if we're stressed out 3 different ways? The moment tells me that I don't have enough money to pay my bills. The past tells me that, I didn't have money back then. And the future tells me that I'm not going to have it there. So it's like 3 different forms of stress: physical, emotional, chemical. So you think that you're releasing 1 form of stress hormones? No, 3. So if we take our star, which we're going to be using very, very intuitively in this program, adrenaline, and that would be representation of your ego, like when you start to get adrenalized, right? And you start to feel very amped up. Most of the time, if you're an empath, you are not going to draw attention to yourself, right? More, you're going to pile all of that inside of you. Well, adrenaline gives you 600% strength, but we're using all of that to think. So we've become super thinkers. So you're super thinking about the past, you're super thinking about the future, and you're sitting, right? So what if we use that counterintuitively to produce some sort of energy result, which means burn calories? Now, it's not just about adrenaline. We're going to use 2 other hormones in this program, and that is your melatonin and that is your serotonin. Not the melatonin gummy that you take every night to counteract your overactive mind, but the melatonin that is produced in your pineal gland. And this is when you fall into the void of darkness and your body goes, okay, finally she's out of the way, he's out of the way, I can rest. And when you rest, your body goes, okay, now let's get to work. Let's repair as much damage as she's created throughout the day. Let's get everything balanced. Let's clean house, right? So without releasing that system, we can't get into that REM sleep cycle and really stop aging and stop manifesting more things to think about the next day. So we're also going to use our serotonin because our serotonin is the inner child, the gut hormone that really reminds you that the purpose of life is joy, and how we're going to be using that is so counterintuitive to how we've done it. It's normally when we feel joy, we want to put some more dopamine on it, eat some candy and celebrate with a drink or go buy something or go make love with someone. And really it's so counterintuitive with how your body is using hormones that when I decided to flip the switch, because what the hell, I have tried everything that there is except biohacking these 3 hormones. And I will tell you that to this day, like, I still don't like the smell of a gym. It feels like PTSD to me. And, having to count micros and macros or, whey or protein or, it literally makes me feel physically sick for how much pressure I have put myself under. And really what I wanted a life is more of like that childlike space. Like, I'll eat till I'm full. I want to eat what I want to eat, but I don't want to eat for to calm myself down or fall asleep. I don't want to eat because I'm lonely. I don't want to work out because I hate myself. So I've got to show up differently this time. And so that's what I did, because really I didn't care. It was like, what do I have to lose? So I decided to go on this kind of 90-day challenge, which is usually what I do with myself. I always guinea pig myself on every workshop, and I want to take myself through my own protocol to see if there is a conclusion. And the conclusion was that I started to build muscle where I've never had muscle. I started to have a flat stomach, which I will tell you, I have never had. You guys are seeing me in all my little crop tops because I can, because for the first time ever, I can. And it's like that energy is just like amazing, where you can just put on anything and it fits, shop anywhere and something is going to work for you. So that has been one of the greatest joys, is that I don't have to worry about food, and I don't have to worry when did I work out, and I don't have to force myself to work out to feel good or to make myself feel better about myself. I don't have to work out or eat well for self-love, because I'm basically biohacking my hormonal systems that are increasing my ability to metabolize fats and proteins. I'm changing the way that my body digests sugar. I used to be very kind of hypoglycemic and very close to diabetic because of how much sugar I would eat for pleasure and reducing pain and to sleep. So now that I am cleaning up my system, I'm noticing that my weight is just moving into this normal balance where I'm not underweight, I'm not overweight. I have a good sense of muscle. I have lost tons and tons of like the brown fat, that like folly fat. And although, I still got a few stretch marks and some dimples in places, it's like, I'm doing pretty good. Went from like a size 12, 14 to a size 0. And this has not been from diet and exercise. Although in my last quantum fitness program, I had you strap weights on. I had you intend and materialize what you wanted, because what I was showing you from that level of biohacking is that when you give your body a new message and break down muscle tissue, when it regrows, it will come back with a new vibration, a new belief system. So that was correct in our biohacking. But I have been moving into living as a child the last few years. And I think as we get older, we realize that if we're going to run out of time, we might as well play. Then we realize that we don't have to run out of time. And really that comes down to our emotional programming. See, if you're not waiting for your life to happen, or waiting for someone to come, or that offer to come in, or the house or the money or the boy or the girl, if you're waiting, then that is the same metaphor as carrying weight. So if I'm waiting, there is still density between that which I am and want. And if I am carrying weight, if you're carrying the weight of the world on your body, it is the same vibration to law of attraction. So what we're really talking about here is, are we waiting for life to happen, or are we carrying the weight of life? Maybe your story is both, because I will tell you that that was mine. I was carrying the weight of life, of a very hard life, and I was also waiting for opportunities, because I was using law of attraction. I was doing all my daily practices. I was meditating for hours. I was teaching globally. I was eating perfect. So I was like waiting for those results to show up. And I felt like the more I waited, the more the universe waited. And that is a true metaphor, because it is linear in that perspective of understanding that if you wait, you create weight. And that's why I could never keep the weight off indefinitely. So I'm going on 2.5 years. This is not a yo-yo. I have just increased muscle tone over the last year, and I have not worked out. I haven't worked out because I have been working on a farm, and I've been working, doing a bunch of different craft projects. I've become an artist overnight, because that's what you do when you don't have to sit and think. The one thing you'll notice that's different from this program is you're going to lose weight, of course. You're going to gain muscle. But what you're going to notice, the biggest, most exciting thing that I have discovered from now putting some of my students and partners into this program, is that they have so much more energy, right? Because think about it. If we're using all of our adrenaline and our sex hormones to think very intensely about worry and stress and future and past, then we're creating very strong minds, but we are creating very weak bodies. So the body becomes very fatigued, and yet you're wired, right? So you're like, mind is wired, but your body is like, I can't even like finish my craft project, or, do my scrapbooking, or go see my kids. It's like we become so lethargic in these bodies, especially the more empathic and sensitive you are. And unless you're already very physically active, you're probably noticing that as the years age, no matter what meditation system you're trying, no matter what you're doing, you're still noticing a very overactive mind and an underactive body. It feels weak, feels slow, feels like you don't have the energy. Your knees are cracking, you're getting, aches in your wrists, and your ankles, your knees. This is a byproduct of being over adrenalized and not having that stress response being used for you. It's being used against you. So this is going to create all kinds of sleep issues, fertility issues, body issues, gut issues. And I'm going to show you both sides of this, what stress is doing when we use it one way and what stress is doing when we use it another way. So our three main players are going to be adrenaline, serotonin, melatonin. We're going to do this program very quickly because it doesn't need to be hard and difficult. You're going to have 4 pre-recorded classes that you're going to be able to use during your life. And then you're going to have 4 live classes. You're also going to have a community live question and answers, community support, before and after pictures. You're going to have everything you need to feel very supported during your journey. So if you're saying, Jess, I don't really have a bunch of weight to lose, well, let me ask you, what are you waiting for? Because you're probably waiting on something. And if you're waiting on something, then this is for you, because this is about weight, right? Are you waiting or are you carrying it? And for those of you who aren't carrying maybe mass, you could still be carrying that stress inside of your organs. You could be carrying it inside of your tissues and cells and bones. And that will also feel like physical pain as well. Inflammation. If you got it, this program is for you. I've also developed 3 different quantum fitnesses because this is about weight and waiting. The next one is going to really be about dis-ease and addiction. Okay. There is a very important component that I need to teach you guys about hormones and addiction. The addiction isn't a bad word if you're using it to expand and create your reality. And it's life-giving, right? If it's life-killing, we want to recommand those hormones and that pharmacy of the brain, because your brain is a pharmacy. It can create every form of medicine on this planet by a resonant frequency that I will show you guys how to do that. So that is our second program. Our third program, really because I need to get you ready for it, is your anti-aging and your basically your spiritual gifts, or how am I unique? What can I do? Am I clairvoyant? Am I clairaudio? Am I, psychic? Maybe you're not interested in any of that, but maybe you wish you were more creative or artistic or, more musical. That will increase all of those things, because when your body is not using 90% of itself to worry and stress and think about the past and worry about the future, imagine what your brain's potential could be. They're saying that we're using 10% of our brain, but that is because the other, the rest of it is keeping us away from danger, keeping us hidden from the past, wearing a mask, so no one knows what's really going on. And then, kind of trying to push away the future or running towards the future. And really what we need to do is we need to be safe right here, right now, where we can have access to our entire brain, which is basically a biocomputer that is learning you. Just like when you grab your smartphone in the morning and you turn it on, every place you've been over the last week will start to populate. You shop for this, you're looking for this, you thought about this, you talked about that, and it's creepy, right? But when it comes to your brain is exactly the same way. It's anticipating you based on your past behavior. So if we do not autocorrect and start biohacking these brains of ours, we are going to have to use a lot of willpower to stay on a diet and force ourselves into the gym, and study sports medicine and try to learn all these things. But you have to understand that you're an energy system. You're not just your muscles. You're not just your diet. You are an entire system that's been through hell probably. And your body is anticipating more of that. No matter how good things are, no matter what you've manifested, you could be going, wow, I'm really in the life that I've wanted for a long time. Why do I still feel like the other shoe is going to drop? Or why do I feel like this person's going to leave me when I finally found love? Or, if you're saying yes to these things that I am saying, then this is for you. And it's going to be in, like I said, 3 different sections. We're going to start with our chemical. We're going to start with our chemical class, because you're going to need to become an expert in these 3 hormones that you're going to be using, not in a meditative state. You're going to be using this as a life meditation, because I'm all about the meditation, but I haven't meditated in 2 years because my life has become a living meditation, which means that I am being in the stillness of the moment while I am experiencing all that I desire, which is usually why we run to meditation. But then either 23 hours a day is like, we want to be living our lives, not escaping and then trying to be in that spirit world where it feels like a connection. We want to feel the connection now in our relationships. We want to feel that connection with the money that's really just coming in and out like breath. We want to feel the life force energy that the body is actually capable, no matter what age you are. So if you're 65, 70, 80, and you're saying, Jess, I'm too old, please don't say that about yourself, because your body doesn't actually know how old you are. It knows how old you feel. Right. And if you start to get older, but you start to feel younger, you might as well, let's turn back the clock, because your body was designed to adapt to the belief systems and focal points that you're observing, just like your phone. So your phone doesn't know how old you are. It just knows what you search for. So if you're 85, but you're searching for toys, that's all you're going to get in your apps that are going to show up, toys. So let's teach our bodies who we are based on who we know we are, not of our age, our genetics, our bloodlines, our color of our skin. Let's really teach our bodies who we are through manipulation of our own hormones of stress, our own manipulation. And manipulation is not a bad word. It just means to direct energy or bend to your will, that direction of which we choose to be. So you can see, if you've done the other quantum fitness, this one is completely different. And I've come full circle, sitting in this body for 2.5 years, just having the best time ever. And it's interesting because it's not about a perfect body, but it is about having a confidence and love of yourself, where people can come and go out of your life. Things can crumble right in front of you. You can lose things, but you feel solid, because you have yourself, and you don't crumble with it. That is the biggest thing that I've observed by becoming really healthy in my body, is that when things go wrong, I don't go with them. I kind of have this new form of stability that the love and respect that I have created in this body now is in union. So really, I've become my own partner for the first time. And therefore, if that partner decides to go a different direction, I'm not devastated and lost. I also don't give every ounce of myself to anything anymore to feel the love that I was lacking inside. So we don't realize, maybe even if we have a big pride and we're very smart and people call us beautiful or whatever on the outside, you may not feel that way, or you may be the opposite, where, you feel that way, but you don't look the way you want. And really it's about biohacking. You are what you believe at a subconscious. So the things that you're more hiding from yourself is what your body is manifesting. And that's what I want to show you. So we have a little bit of metaphysics, a whole lot of biochemistry, some childhood development mixed in there as far as emotional well-being and how your brain was developed your first 7 years, and then how to repopulate and change our neural pathways of the brain through rewiring using not thought. This is where it's different, guys. We are not going to just use thought here. We're going to rewire your neural pathways through action. And that is the sweet spot. So I hope you guys join me. I hope some of this resonated. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and you're ready to really choose yourself, I've made this program so freaking affordable that everybody can do it. You're going to have your chemical class, your hormones in you class. And then you're going to have your physical component, which is your second class, your second group of classes. And that's going to be to teach you this, how to kind of integrate that, who you want to be and who you are together through your intentional body workout, which is basically 15 minutes. We're going to be using some self-hypnosis based in color therapy, sound therapy, light therapy, and sensory. So we're going to be using a lot of smell, taste, touch, feel. And I have created a system for your workout program, which is, you've got your color wheel. So if you have ADD or OCD, this is going to be perfect for you, because you're going to have something all day long to kind of hold on to kind of bring you that calm and peace as your world is changing. We're going to be using a Pilates ring for our 15 minutes class. So we're going to be using a little Pilates, but it's like Pilates on crack. And we're going to put hypnosis into the Pilates. So you shamans out there, okay, right? So we're going to put some hypnosis in there. We're going to incorporate all 5 senses. And we are going to do this in a very, very fast way because the child has nothing less than 15-minute attention span. And we want you embracing the child because let's face it, children have super fast metabolisms when they're healthy. That's where we're going. So I hope you guys join me, and you can sign up on my website. Just look for the discount code. I think it's discounted right now. It probably will be because I don't really care about this stuff anymore. I'm having way too much fun in my life to be worrying about, success or money. I just want you guys to know that this body of yours was never supposed to be complicated, but we were taught so counterintuitively this relationship with ourself that as we moved away from body, we created a lot of dysfunction in relationships outside of ourselves. And so now it's like we're working our way back in. So join me on this super fast, super fun, super, super easy way to make you superhuman, right? Because that's kind of the goal, is to become that higher self and just in play, because really that is the sweet spot, your celebration factor, and really being proud of who you are. And you will never be in comparison or jealousy again when you are looking and feeling how you really know you can. You will live your purpose, because when you are in your reality with your body and you're happy, your purpose is just like, oh, there you are. I knew you were there the whole time. So here we go. We start August 16th. The dates and times are on the workshop. I couldn't recite those for you right now. But if you are interested, and go ahead and sign up, you'll be put into our community group, which we will be beginning early because it's just going to be sharing stories, interacting, getting to know each other. We already have a big group already, so hopefully we can get it bigger, because it's all about unity, and it's all about knowing that you're not doing this by yourself, and having other people to kind of feedback on and kind of stream with. So I will be very present with you guys in this workshop, both live and recorded information. The recorded information is for you to be able to just kind of sit down and do the exercise with me any time of the day, not worrying about when is live class. So I've kind of figured all of that out. Now, for those of you who are going, I can't do exercise, I'm in a wheelchair, or, I'm completely, my body's not working. Aha, you're not getting out of this. I have formulated a plan for you. There is a system for everyone, whether you're 105 or, 18 and in a wheelchair, I've got you. So don't worry. We're in this together, and I'm going to show you how to win at life starting in just a few weeks. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.